Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Ideal Video Blog. I'm your host, Wade Fisher. Today I want to talk a little bit about videos, how to video for your operation, your ranch or company, the thoughts that you should go into before you do video work to make sure that you've got everything set up to make the most out of video day, as well as the pen design if you're videoing livestock that you need to have so that we can get in there and get the most out of that. You can gain the most online from your videos and make it the most feasible that it can possibly be for your operation. Before I get into that, I want to apologize for the latency of this week's video. Saturday, I was on my way up to Arkansas to the wedding of Sarah and Grady Green. What a beautiful wedding it was. Missed the rain, which was coming in, just kind of cooled it off. It's not that we didn't want the rain. We just wanted to make sure that we were well covered before the rain hit. So it was a great time, had a lot of fun with everybody that was up there and wished them the best in their new life together. But while I was on the way up there, I got a call from a great friend of mine about the passing of Dr. Harold Franke. And Dr. Franke was a pillar of animal science at Texas A&M University, a great man personally, a great educator and teacher. Dr. Franke never missed an opportunity to teach somebody and allow somebody to learn. He did that with me. He did that with multiple people that I know. He was a great influence on my father while my dad was at Texas A&M, as well as I'm a great friend of both of his son and his grandson that I've been with for the majority of the first part of this week. And they've been in our thoughts and prayers. And I hope that if you know Dr. Franke, you know the semblance and the importance that he had in the Texas A&M system. And I'm sure that you know as well as I do how great he will be missed among everybody at Texas A&M, as well as those that knew him personally. But getting into this today's episode, what we do is video work. Video in the cattle industry mostly. We do some in the horse and the deer industry as well as companies for promotional videos, ranches for promotional videos, and all of the elements that go into that. What I want to talk about today is livestock videos, how you can get the most out of your videos. Step one is building the video pen. If you've already got a picture pen that you use for still pictures, 9 times out of 10 we can use that. That's something that's big enough, set up just right, your photographer has helped you set that up, or you've done it through trial and error over the multiple times that you've done photography, that you know what's right and how to get that part set. If you already have that, or if you're going to build one, the implements that we most look into is where sun placement is for your time of the year. You know, we can go up there in the summer, but it may not be the same in the fall or the spring or whenever your sale is. We like to video a month and a half before your sale. That way we have an ample amount of time to get that video edited, get it online when the catalog hits so that people can go through those videos online with your catalog. Then they can go through and figure out the lots that they really want to look at when they get to the sale, or the lots that don't fit their program or don't fit their guidelines based off of the phenotype and the way that those animals move and look in that video pen. Most important thing that I drive home with everybody that I talk to about video work is video day is sale day in all practical purposes. The animals need to be clean. The animals need to be in the best shape possible. The pen needs to be in the best shape possible. Nothing looks better than short, fresh-cut green grass under those animals' feet. And that shows the soundness, shows the way they move. You know, if they're in thick sand, they're not going to move as well. If they're in tall grass, you're not going to see the hocks, the way that the feet set, any of those pieces that people look at and go over very well. As far as getting back to the pen design, we like to have our back to the sun. That way the sun will paint those animals like a canvas, and that will get the most pop out of that hair, the look of their body, the way that they hold their head, and everything as they go across. We like a flat surface. It can have just a little bit of a grade, but we don't want much. We don't want those animals going uphill. We definitely don't want those animals going downhill. There's nothing that'll break that top line like that animal headed downhill. Another thing that we want is the pen behind it, what your fencing is behind that animal to look the best. you don't want to do this in front of a bunch of old panels. You don't want to do this in front of a fence that's looks like it's sagging or falling down. We want fresh panels. We want something that looks nice behind there. The background behind that pen setup needs to look good as well. We don't want a lot of old farm equipment. We don't want a bunch of 2 years ago hay. There can be a stack of hay in the background. There can be some implements or some farm equipment back there. Hey guys, this is still a ranch. This is still a cattle operation at the end of the day. That's what we get away from a lot is, man, I have to have a crystal clear background. You don't necessarily have to have that crystal clear background. For the most part, we're going to be zoomed in on that animal to the point that the background isn't as noticeable. If you have a very scenic background, that's great. Let's try to set up a pen structure with that so that you can utilize that. If you don't have that scenic background, that's okay too. If that scenic background's on the back side of the operation that's not feasible to get to, we're not going to go to great lengths to get it. We want the cattle to be able to flow in and out of the pen feasibly. We want it to be the quickest amount of time possible. You have to remember that we're trying to do as many as we can in a day, but we're trying to do them as good as we can in that day. We're not going to rush through anything. We're not going to try to get the cattle in and out as fast as possible. We're not just going to get one walk with them. We're going to get 45 seconds to even 2 minutes of good footage per animal so that we can cut that down to make that animal look as best as they can. If an animal comes in there snorty or comes in there hot, we're going to give that animal a little extra time. One thing I encourage people to do that I've seen is if you're videoing a large number of bulls, you could put a temperament number up there. If that's something that makes you nervous that, hey, these bulls are a little hot, these bulls are a little tame, however that is, and you want to portray that to everybody that's watching the videos, that's a good thing to do. User friendliness, temperament, however you want to structure that, but you can build that into the video and we can put that up there pretty easy. Another thing that we'll need to make it go as smooth as possible is the ID number or correlating lot number for that animal as they come in. We have normally 2 people in the pen. One of them's pushing them to the left and one of them's pushing them to the right, and they're both ensuring that that animal keeps walking. Best thing is have it face north, have it about 100 feet by 50 feet at the least. That allows those animals to walk. We're looking for at least 10 minutes of fluid motion per clip. That'll make the best video for you, that'll make the best video for the animal, and that'll make the most feasible video day. If you have any other questions on how to video or pen design, feel free to call us. We'll talk through how to do it best. We'll come by when we're in the area if we can and help you design that pen. Until next week, I appreciate you watching the Ideal Video Blog. Next week we'll be in Omaha for the DV Auction Summit. Hopefully get Dan Brose, Doug Paul, and some other guys on video to talk about DV, as well as the more northern cattle markets that we have and the ways that the southern guys and the northern guys can kind of come together on the future. So we look forward to that. I thank you for watching the Ideal Video Blog.